Hello, my creepy poples. Welcome to Creepy Corners. As you can probably tell, I'm sort of kicked back on the couch right now. And the reason is I'm exhausted. I got up this morning super early because I had a very early meeting, which means I have to get up and go and get on the train and then take the train in and get to the office in time for the meeting. So I also went to the chiropractor today, and I'm kind of tired just from that because she had to do a lot of work because my back is pretty messed up. It was good though. It was a good visit, and I'm gonna start my visits to them again. I used to go pretty regularly a couple of years ago, and I stopped. So here I am back in doing chiropractor stuff again. For the first time on this channel, I'm gonna do a movie review. I'm gonna talk about this movie. So I really like animated movies, and I'll just tell you now, there will be spoilers. So if you haven't seen this movie and you want to save it, then I'll see you next time. But the movie is Coco, and it's an animated movie. And here's the thing: it was a really good. The animation was beautiful, of course. It was a very good movie. I thought the story was good too, but then I started thinking about it, and the premise is that this kid is born into a family, and many years ago, his great grandmother or something was left by his great grandfather, and the great grandfather left to go pursue his music career. Well, because of that and how hurt the great grandmother was, she banned music from the family, and she started making shoes. And so they didn't really do too much with the shoe making, but they really drove home the thought that the music is not allowed. And so the little boy, who's the main character in the movie, he's a musician, and all he wants to do is play guitar, and he wants to be around mariachis and stuff. And so he goes to the mariachi square, I think is what they called it. Anyway, gets in trouble, and then he thinks that this super mega star is his father, or no, I'm sorry, is his great grandfather, because there were no pictures of his great grandfather, and the one that they did have, where the grandfather and the grandmother were together, that grandfather, his head had been torn out of the picture because the great grandmother was mad. So anyway, he winds up on Day of the Dead, and I'm gonna totally say this wrong, but Dia de los Muertos. They put the pictures of their loved ones, their deceased loved ones, on the ofrenda, and that is what it allows the deceased people, their spirit, to come back and visit with the living. And so that's based in, obviously, Mexican tradition and stuff. So anyway, which I've actually, well, I'll talk about that later. So he thinks that this like super mega musician star is his great grandfather. So he goes and to get the guitar, because his great grandmother or his grandmother broke his guitar. Well, so anyway, so he goes and does that, and then he when he strums the guitar, he gets sucked into to the other side with his deceased family. And there he meets this guy who's he's trying to trick his way into getting out, because you have to have the picture on the ofrenda to even be able to get out to see the family. And so nobody had put this one guy's picture, and so on and so on. Well, he winds up eventually finding out through, they go through all these antics, and chaos ensues or whatever. But they go through all these antics together, and they're trying to get the kid to be able to meet who he thinks is his great grandfather. Well, in reality, the like misfit guy, the one that couldn't get out to go visit his family, he's the kid's great great grandfather. And come to find out, the megastar, the one that was like this huge star, and everybody had a picture of him on their offerenda and all this other stuff. Well, he actually had murdered the boy's great great grandfather. Okay, so that's kind of the summary of the movie. So what I was thinking about with it is, I watched it and it was obviously I watched it, but after I watched it, I was thinking, this was a good movie. It was really well animated and stuff, but I'm thinking about the lesson. So, kids are watching this movie. Obviously, it was made for kids, and it's beautifully done. And I thought at first it had a really good message, right? That you should pursue your dreams no matter what. Check. Family is the most important thing, and that family should support you. But also in this, the kid is totally just rebellious, right? And that's how he gets himself into trouble to begin with. And oh, by the way, I forgot this part. But if he doesn't get out of there, out of the land of the dead or whatever, I don't know what to call it, by sunrise, then he'll actually be dead. So, so there's that. And then, so he's totally rebellious. He doesn't listen to his parents or his grandparents, which actually turns out to be okay because that he found out about that and about the murder and all that stuff. But also another lesson is, as long as you don't get caught murdering somebody, you're gonna be a giant star. So whatever you have to do to get to your end result, even if it means killing somebody else, and you're gonna make it. And then the only way that this guy, the murderer, got called out is because they had the camera on him at one point in front of this giant crowd of people, and he admits that he killed this guy. And then even only then does the crowd turn on him and start throwing stuff at him and whatever. But I mean, to me, the lesson is that he killed someone, and in real life, he made it as this giant superstar, and he, even in the afterlife, he was a star until he gave himself away. So does that is the lesson there, that as long as you can hide it and then you can get away with it and you'll make it big? Or is it that you'll that you're going to be found out? I mean, I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I think that this was it was just it was a good movie. I thought it kind of carried a good message, but then the more I thought about it, the more I thought maybe it didn't carry that good of a message. Maybe I don't know, maybe it's kind of like a twisted way to say that you shouldn't lie, you shouldn't kill people, and that you should follow your dreams, but also family is very important. But I could see getting it twisted, and thinking that it's not just that, it's more, or somebody could actually take it to a different perspective and see it as, if I lie and whatever, then I'll make it, and that's how I can make it, and even at any cost. So anyway, have you seen this movie? What did you think? What was the message that you got from it? Because a lot of these kids movies, I think part of the reason behind them is to teach kids a lesson, or teach them something, and that's the way of fairy tales and stuff like that. There's always some sort of a moral, right, to be learned from these things. But what do you think? If you've seen it, definitely leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought about it. What sort of a moral you took from it, if any at all, or should I have just watched it as a story and a fun movie and really beautiful and whatever, and not thought that much about it? I don't know. All right, so that's gonna be it for this week, you guys. I am exhausted, and I just want to sort of relax and not do anything right now. So anyway, have a good day or good night wherever you are, and I will talk to you on Sunday. Bye. Thank you for watching. Click here to subscribe, or click here to watch another video. I'll see you later, creepy poples.